What's up, everybody? My name is Mary. Welcome to Inspire Blog. If you haven't been on this channel before, then welcome, and if you have, then welcome back. So today we have a very special guest on our channel. This is the first time ever we're trying something new. I'd like to introduce you guys to Howard Lau.
Hi, how are you?
So he is the founder of Hay2Brick. What exactly is Hay2Brick?
First of all, thank you for taking the opportunity to speak with me, Mary.
Oh, well, thank you for being on our channel.
Yeah. So this is really truly my honor. But first of all, Hay2Brick is about investing in apartment buildings. So I started at Hay2Brick 2 years ago, and have the mindset of how do I actually bring a multifamily investing to people who may not have the opportunity before, and maybe don't have the access for it, maybe don't have the knowledge about doing it, and truly learn about how to do multifamily. And that's kind of how I started 2 years ago.
How exactly did you come up with the name Hay2Brick?
It's really good questions, Mary. Actually, this is a kind of like a byproduct of me and Mandy, my wife, who is also deeply involved with Hay2Brick. Because of my background, we're really believing in creating something from nothing. Product like hay, which is like really humbling product or humbling material, you can actually convert it to something meaningful. And I think that's kind of related to our background, kind of related to how we think that you can actually buy your own artwork, and by your own artwork, you can actually create something great, which is that's why it's hay, something that's really humbling product, to something that maybe you can build to a skyscraper, some product like bricks to kind of build on your success.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good name, actually. How Joe and I came to meet Howard was online. I was actually supposed to attend one of his meetups, because he has meetups on every month. He has meetups every month, and Joe always recommends me to go to certain meetups, and I can't remember why I wasn't able to go to his meetup, but for some reason Joe had sent me his website, the Hay2Brick website, and was like, because we were so very interested in real estate, and he was like, one day we're gonna be this couple, and it just so happens to be Howard and his wife Mandy. And so I took the initiative to message him on Facebook.
Yes, you did.
And then was pretty much like, my boyfriend and I want to go down the path that you're going, and I went to his next meetup, and then that's how I met him. And we've been meeting up with him here and there, I'd say once a month now. Yeah.
But meetup is something that is a new format. I want to kind of make it less intense, You don't have to kind of box into the room. It's not going to be a conference room, so we kind of use this kind of like a more relaxed settings, like in the coffee shops, and just to kind of share what I really want to share, which is to buy multifamilies. And I know that, as a matter of fact, a lot of people who are interested in investing in multifamily, they just don't know how.
Yeah, it's a great way to get information and also to meet people with the same mindset as well. So
Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you for making those meetups.
And thank you for messaging me on Facebook, and thank you, Joe, as well.
He's really down to earth, and he's all about helping people. He's helped us with our mindset as well. All right, so Howard, how did you get started with Hay2Brick? Or just in real estate in general? Yeah.
I have a 30-second answer, or I'll have a 5-minute answer. Which one do you want?
Do 30 seconds, because we have a lot of questions. In a nutshell.
Yeah, so we are like normal investor, amateur investor, when we started 12 years ago. And so we started buying in hometown in Calgary, and then we slowly expanded to US and Phoenix, and we moved on to small single family in Canada, and then eventually to Asia as well. But I figured out that's the way it is. Most people will have 5 rental properties, but I figured that that's not what we want at the end of the day. So we venture into educations to help more people, and by doing that, we can actually partner with investors, partner with our students to be able to, you can tackle bigger problem, and that's what we're doing right now. investing in multifamily or commercial properties, so to speak.
What made you want to transition into buying single-family homes into multifamily homes?
These are really good questions. I remember one year I was trying to close 4 properties, and each property would take basically a month. And at the end of the day, we have a goal at that time. I do want to own 100 properties, and that made me think that if I'm going to close 1 property a month, I will be closing 10 years. And closing a property is crazy.
Oh yeah.
and I talk about it in my seminar. If I'm going to do what I want to do, is even just a really modest goal to have 100 properties, I'll be closing the next 10 years. And think about that. I will not have a marriage. I will not have a family. I will have nothing by just focusing on business. So by that time, I figured out that I have to basically go out and reach out to learn from people who have done it. So I immersed myself with educations, with mentors. I just spent 2 years straight, each year spending flight to the United States, different cities for 10 trips every year for 2 consecutive years, and just to learn how to do multifamilies. The nature of the business of single families make it really hard for small, medium business owner in the real estate side of the things to be able to scale it. All the big company, they all buy commercial, and that's the reason for doing that. They don't necessarily own 2,000 single family homes, and that's the reason why, I believe.
Okay, so like bigger scale in less time, pretty much.
Yeah, I just give you an example. You can close a property, let's say 100 units, in the matter of 3 to 6 months. If I would do it in single families, first of all, I need a team. Or you need a team anyway, but you need a bigger team to basically, if you close 1 unit a month, you're going to close for the next 10 years. So I can do it in 3 months or 6 months, or even a year. So you can see the power of buying in commercial real estate versus buying in single families is the scalability.
So the next question that I have for you, Howard, is with all successful people, they always mention something about the why, right?
Yeah.
How important is knowing your why to you?
Well, that is a really deep questions, and the why do change, by the way. The why will change. I remember my why used to be a financial freedom. I remember that. It really comes down to what you feel like achieving at that time. And we do change, by the way. I want to create something that actually can help all entrepreneurs to actually do capital raising wherever they can. That's actually truly my why at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome because I find like a lot of people have troubles raising the capital. That's like number one. Do you find that the same?
It is one of the highest one. It definitely is one of the highest one. It comes down to what is you as an investor, as an entrepreneur, as a founder. Can you actually attract the money into you? Because like at any time in the world right now, we have 60 or 70 trillion floating around in the earth, like in the thin air, like whether it's a physical or digital currency or any sort. That's certainly not a shortage of money.
Yeah.
But the shortage of in this world is actually resourcefulness. Is actually the skills to actually make yourself to be able to attract that money. So that is actually not a platform, in my opinion. It's not a platform. It's not that you don't have enough money. It's a supply issues. The talent of the supply that not able to attract that kind of capital.
Would you say that most of it is coming like from within then?
Absolutely.
Just self-work.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. You figured out if we talk about the last time the book Millionaire Next Door, 70% of millionaire is self-made. And so they absolutely come from nothing. So we also talk about action and reactions earlier. All these people, they create something within the however long or short period of life, 70 or 80 years to create something. And they didn't come from rich families, they didn't come from good heritage, they have nothing. And of course, they have to build themselves through hard work, through due diligence, to create the skills, the knowledge, the network, and resources to be able to create something truly big. So it's all about how you improving yourself to create yourself. as a person, to be able to attract all these resources. People work with you, the people want to learn from you, and investors want to give them the chance and to trust you, to become that person.
Do you think that the mental mentality sets apart successful investors from those who give up, fail, or even get started? It's just the mental capacity?
It's so huge. Everyone who actually reached that age or reached that stage of finally understanding that it's only yourself. It's actually never the environment. As the environment goes, you can always talk about the environment is bad. You can always talk about you didn't have a rich parents. You can always talk about you have a family to raise. That's why you cannot work until 1 or 2 a.m. You can always talk about I'm so fat. I'm just not tall enough, or you have an accent, or you cannot speak English. As all this is actually just an excuse. Because no matter what kind of disadvantage you find in life, you can always find at least 10, let's just say 1, that person actually overcome that. Beethoven was, having so much of physical disabilities, and yet he created the best things ever in life. The more difficulty you have early on in life, that is basically as a blessing for you as a person, because if you are able to overcome that hurdle, it's kind of like a mountain.
Yeah.
So if you never overcome that, you overcome that difficulty, you never achieve what you want in life. But the biggest things that people, we talk about successful people versus non-successful people is, there's a lot of things, by the way. Persistence, mindset, how you treat others fairly. But for myself, I think the biggest thing that really speaks to myself is attitude. Is attitude. You can attract so much when you have a good attitude, have the right attitude. We all have bad attitude sometimes. It's how you control it. So.
That's a really good answer. That was really deep. I connected in so many ways.
That is good.
Thinking about my life. What were your biggest achievements or milestones in 2018? And coming into the new year, what do you have planned for 2019?
Yes, there's a lot of physical milestone I can say for 2018. For example, the biggest thing is I ran my first ever marathon.
Oh yeah, congratulations!
Thank you. The next big thing is I'm planning to be running my Ironman in 3 years. So I'm training for So it's going to be a course of 180 kilometers, running, swimming, and biking.
Oh, all 3.
All together, yes.
Whoa!
I don't know how to swim, so I'm going to learn about how to swim.
You have 2 years.
Yes.
That's a plan.
That's the plan. Also, ramp up my real estate business and buy more properties in apartments, buildings in the States, and raise 1.5 million in closing deals, and write the book, and write this book with Brian Tracy. So whoever want to get that, you can reach out to me, and I can send it off to you physical copy.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Secret to Wealth. Okay. So it's a co-author between a lot of like experts like myself with the Brian Tracy, and he has been really big on self-development and team excellence, and he's a real estate investor too. So that's the book, do meetups and educate people and really start about mentoring business. For me, 2019 I should give a theme for it, because for example, like 2018 for me is a growth. Like for me, I have a name for that. Call it a growth year, and me and my wife share that. Yes, thank you. And for 2019, I call it is going to be a breakthrough year. So it's going to be something crazy, and then unreasonably great 2019. So that's kind of how I define 2019. Goals like really ramping up my real estate business, really sharing, and we have more resources to sharing knowledges and even motivation and inspirations to other people. But I'm just gonna keep it at that for 2019. It's gonna be a really great year.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like you're ready for it too.
Yeah, I'm really ready.
You're gonna be swimming. Hey, we don't know how to swim either, so.
Oh, you know?
Yeah.
It's not as bad now.
So yeah, don't feel bad. Doing all this, what is your ultimate final goal?
I don't think I will ever have an ultimate goal, to be honest. But I do want to keep growing myself, to keep improving myself from my beginnings. Not only financials, but absolutely personal growth. And how can I improve myself as a person? How can I really like improve myself?
During our previous meetup with you, you had kind of touched base with me and Joe about our goals and how, in your opinion, you think that you should set a goal that's 10 times bigger than your actual goal, right? You remember that talk that we had? Yeah. Why do you think that is, and rather than setting a realistic goal?
The reason is as a human being, we have a tendency of doing less than what you aim. Just look at, like, I just give you, it's basically come down to law, actually. If you're trying to throw a ball like across the table, if you didn't aim high, you will never throw it to the positions that you want to aim to be. Why is that? Because it's a law of gravity. It's like gravity is actually applied to anyone in the universe, in the Earth anyway. Because if you aim the same thing, like you want to say you want to own 5 properties at the end of the year, but you truly want to own 5 properties, the end of the same, usually you will end up like 2 or 3 or maybe 1 properties. You will be not excited when you achieve it. When you achieve it, you will not be excited. You feel like you can improve, which is always the case. But if you say that you're going to own 50 properties, which for most of us will be like a dream, but you end up owning 20 properties. So originally you think that you want to own 5 properties, but then at the end of the year, if you actually own 20 properties, you'll be so much more happier. You feel like you're not only happier, you actually achieve your goals 4 times. The thing is, when you do 10 times, you will have 2 or 3 times the result that what you really want, which is what 2 or 3 times your result, what you really want. So that's a good thing.
That's true. Yeah. I actually started applying that to my goals too.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
After we had talked about it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do 10 times more than what I actually want, and
like for example, like
or just like financial wise, or
yeah.
Like working out wise, that type of
good.
thing. Yeah. So.
Because it comes down to the actions. Because when you put 10 times a goal, that's no question. You will actually have to do way more actions. It will abide you with that. If you buy 10 properties, you will have to do way more connections with people, receive way more properties, and that's just how growth selling works.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you for that. All right, so we all know that successful people read books, right? Lots of books.
Yes.
What would you say is your favorite business or real estate book?
I absolutely would recommend you to actually read my book, Secretly Well, and it talk about the 10 steps of how to do multifamilies and how to find brokers and really analyze the buildings. So, but for non-real estate books, I always come back to this book. It's by Earl Nightingale, and is always my go-to book. He's actually not living anymore, but his legacy is lived within the pages. So it's called The Strangest Secret. It's a really short book, as you can see, but I listen to it almost daily.
Oh wow!
In the morning, it's a 30 minutes listening passage, and it's so much nuggets. And it's not even about making money. It's how to you improving yourself. Available on ebook, book, and audio. So yeah.
The Strangest Secret.
Strangest
We'll
Secret.
provide
I'm gonna
the
have
link.
to check that out.
We'll provide the link in our description.
Yes.
Click below for the link. Click. Outside of your business or work life, what do you like to do for fun? Your hobbies?
I think it comes down to, for me, is about growing. It's always comes down to growing. Coming from a really humbling background, and I know the only one way to actually improve myself is actually growing. So I always evolve my hobbies into that as well. But my hobby is actually meditation and running. Like, when I run, I meditate. And meditate, I feel like I'm feeding myself medicines. For me, it's really running and meditation is really big things, because I can do as my hobby, and I can actually improve myself at the same time. So kind of group that all together.
That's awesome. Yeah, there is that saying where it says, find a hobby or find something that's your hobby and something that you love, and I don't know, something along those lines. Have you heard of
Yes.
that? What is it called?
Find 3 hobbies you love. One to make you money, one to keep you in shape, and one to be creative.
Yeah, that one.
That's one at least. So
That was a quote that I was like,
I never heard of that.
I was like, what?
Who say that?
I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's true. One to make you money,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
to keep you in shape, which is your running, and one to be creative. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the quote that I was looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
What age did you start doing all of this, like getting into the mindset, getting your businesses rolling, or wanting to jump into business?
I would like to say that I started really early, and the fact that is I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was 15 years old, and but the sad part is I didn't do anything after that, and I have this mindset that learning is improving, and I have this mindset that knowing that I want more is improving, or that's what makes difference, and the sad truth is actually it's not. It only materialize when you actually start doing something. I actually doesn't actually really start doing something until 32. I mean, it's not saying that I don't buy real estate, but I mean I buy real estate as the action that I buy real estate is not aligned with where I want to go. I want to go here, but my action is with here. So it's good that when we're at the beginning of the year, always want to talk about goals. But the truth is, it doesn't matter what kind of goal you have. You can only achieve it if your actions is at least here or here. As Elon Musk said that, wishful thinking is innate for human beings. So we all like to talk big, and I remember that I would like to talk big. My action is not aligned with my goals. But I started really late. But I started to change my mindset when I was after 30. And it's really true actually. If you can always nag yourself saying that Mark Zuckerberg said like before 30 he's a billionaire. You're always nag about yourself that people who have achieved so much results, they're not even 40s. But the truth is, it doesn't matter what you start. It doesn't matter when you start. I mean, you can start at 30, you can start at 60s. I'll give you an example. My neighbors, he go back to school at 62 years old and start his business as a landscaping business. And his name is Sam. He's still my neighbors right now. And he retired at 74. And it's almost never too late. It's always too late when you think it's too late. Because when you think it's too late, you feel disappointed and you don't align your goals with your actions. And that's when nothing will happen, when you don't align your goals with action. And that's just what happens to me when I was like 15 years ago. I feel good for 15 years. I feel like that I know something that no one knows. At the end of the day, my life didn't change. When you feel that your life changed, it's actually when you're looking back, oh, that's why I did that actions. That's how I feel that, and that's how I see a lot of people have that kind of result. Actions is really dictate the difference of successful. We talk about successful people and not successful people. It's not even mindset. People have so much mindset, but they don't take action. That's why nothing get built.
Yeah. Okay. So 15 or 30, as long as you take action, it doesn't matter when you start.
It never, even 60, yes.
Even 62.
Yeah. 62, yes.
That's amazing.
He created his own business 62 and retired 12 years later.
Wow.
It's a really
Good
great
for
story.
him.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
See, guys? Never too late to
That's
start.
right.
We're coming to kind of the end of our interview. What can you give people that want to get started? What kind of advice can you give them?
You can always start where you are. I believe that. You can always start where you are, but when it's a start, it means that you have to take actions. So it doesn't matter what kind of action you take. You may want to talk to people who are successful. You may want to talk to people who own a lot of real estate, or even talk to just talk to people to get inspirations. But the single things that you have to do is to take actions, meaning today, meaning actually at this moment. Whether you're gonna click and buy the books, or you click and listen to podcasts, or go contact me. And by the way, the way to contact me is you just go to my website, Hay2Brick, Hay2Brick, BRICK.com, or just send me an email. We're gonna provide that information later
We'll
on
put
as
the
well.
link down below for you guys.
Yeah, and just get help from other people who achieve the result where you want to go. That's only one way that I can actually think of. You should start right now, start immediately, because we're all getting older, we're not getting younger. No one's getting younger. So yeah, start today.
Thank you for being on our vlog.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for being on our very first vlog and for sharing what goes on in your mind and what you've learned and your wisdom. So
thank you very much.
If you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos such as this one, and stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.